All right, welcome back to another episode of Guitar Fundamentals on the Road. Currently parked next to this gorgeous river. You might hear some river noise in the background. Totally worth it. Today, we're going to try and make something that seems complex, but make it simple for you to expand on your songwriting, expanding on your chord progressions. Something that will help kickstart your songs into a new direction and give it this like new beauty. And so, I'm going to try and do this quickly, and there's a lot of questions that might happen, and if you have questions, you can join me on Patreon. I know this is like too soon to mention, but I'll be talking about how to practice this stuff, all right, and where it comes from. And so let's just talk about this. Most songs, when we're writing songs or looking at songs and they're in keys, we're going to talk about the key of G today. You know, have the 1 chord, the 2 chord, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, which you can do like this, or I like to play as dominant 7th. And they have these same chords, and you see them when you're writing songs. It's hard for you to break out of this kind of like songwriting. And so how do we break out of this? Well, to make a long story short, we're going to use the key of G to show you this new trick to make your chord progressions just go somewhere. I have to tell you this. It is up to you after you go somewhere to try and, you know, flow with where you're going, maybe bring it back to the original key. This is just a way to kind of like crack that new glow stick, see something different, and go with it. So let's say we're in the key of G and we're writing a song and we have the basic 1s, 4s, and 5s, all right? To get out of this, I see this a lot. I see this a lot in music. We're going to start with the 5 chord here, okay? We're going to do this for a lot of different chords, but the 5 chord. We can now say you're playing a song and you get to the 5 chord, which is a D, and you want to get out of this sound. Well, you can treat this note here as the 3rd of a new key. And I'm going to say that again, and I'll explain it. You treat this note here as the 3rd note of a new key. And to find the new key, all you got to do is take your middle finger, put it 1 fret up on the 5th string. And so this new key is going to be, B flat right here, okay? Now, what's interesting really quickly, in case you don't know this, and I know I'm talking fast, is that the 3rd chord of any key is usually played as a minor key. And this is where it's like, well, why does this work? It works because it works. And we see this all the time. This is a trick that everybody uses, and sometimes we go like, well, why does that work? It doesn't matter in terms of why it works. So check us out. This guy is the new 3rd chord, but we're going to play it as a major, all right? Because you're already playing it, G, C, and D. It's D major. And now, if you take it to the new root note and play this as a major, we get a new sound brought in. Now check this out. Say I'm playing the song, and I want to change the sounds of everything. Right there, okay, the B flat chord, this is now a B flat, doesn't really belong in anything that we were doing before, but now we have a new key. And now I'm just going to show you a couple things here. You can bring it back to a 4 chord, which is the C chord, and you're back into your key. It can be a very brief thing. And then you're on the C, you can go back to your G. Time. Really? You see, it works really well. Bringing any sort of like, treating any note as the 3rd of key and going to its root. Now, say you do this one more time. Say you go G, C, D, and you go to this B flat, B flat. Well, now you can do a new 1, 4, or 5. We see this a lot, you know, a new chorus. So let me show you. Say you have a song that's, you know, or you're modulating, and you don't know where to take it. Well, you can take it here. Okay, so you can see we can modulate with this effect. We can bring in a new chord that's out of key and then get back into a key. It's really cool stuff. And let me show you some other stuff with this. Let's just say you want to do it off the 4 chord. All right, so I'm going to do it off the 4 chord. Here's my 3rd now here. This is my new chord. It is now A flat. And check this out. You can do a new 1, 4, and 5. You're now up a half step from where you are. This is a trick you hear in early like 60s like songwriting when they want to come up a half step, like. All right, it's very very simple. We came off the C chord, went here. This is our new root note, 1, 4, and 5. This is a way to come up a half step if you want to, all right? Now, another thing you can do off the 4 chord, G, C, follow along, is you have your new root note here, and you hear this all the time, up a whole step, and then up another whole step to your, back to your C chord. So you'll hear songs out. Now, interestingly enough, do you see what I did? I didn't come straight from the C chord. I knew it would work because this trick always works, where you treat any chord as a third and you go to its 1. I'll play it again, watch it, and it works fine. And I don't think anyone in like a natural songwriting stance, you know, someone who's new to songwriting would do this naturally. So watch, okay, here's the 4 chord, there's that root note, there's my new root note, and I went to the A flat, came up to the B flat, and I came up to the C, and I kind of caught the C again. So watch for that effect. Back into your key. All right, so there's another way to use it. So off the 5 chord, off the 4 chord, you can do this. My bulldog's right here snoring again. Hello, Tonka. And so, and now let me show you one more move. This move I discovered, it's the same thing, but in a new way. A long time ago, and I was always like, why does this work? And here's the chord progression, okay? Let's say we're in the key of G, and you want to do the same thing off the 1. And this is very powerful. This is good stuff. All right, G. Well, if we treat this as a third, we can't put our middle finger here and go, okay, what's the new note? So if you play a G chord up here, or here on the 10th fret, well, we can do it here now. And look, that's E flat. So here's this G major, and now to an E flat major. And this chord progression is, to me, like a really epic chord progression. If you're interested in it, and like, don't roll your eyes, it's the song Rift by Phish, which is a great song. And if you listen, now G to an E flat, it's like, well, why would that work? Why does that work? And this is why it works. Even though his pattern looks different, it's this. So now we can sit and like, look at that chord progression and be like, hey, it's a 1, 4, 1, minor 6 is a major, what? And the brain like starts to, you know, go like, what's happening? But really, you're treating the chord you're on as the third of a new key, but you happen to be playing it as major, and you're dropping it into the new key. And hopefully this helps inspire some different directions for your songwriting. I love the sound of this, and you can come off the 1 chord, you can come off the 4 chord, or you can come off the 5 chord, because they're major, and they have this like effect of when they go down to this new one, it's like, whoa, it feels like an epic chord change. And so you can do it off these chords. You don't have to do it off of every single one in a song. You have your options, but as long as you know they work, hopefully this helps just take your songwriting or your creation, or even understanding songs that you know and showing you why they work. Thank you for being here so much on another episode of Guitar Fundamentals. If you want to practice this stuff with me, you can check me out on Patreon. I'll stop talking. Take care. Bye-bye.